everyone, Miss GoElectric here. I have a lot of people that ask me about which e-bike they should buy that is under $1,500. And generally speaking, I typically suggest ones that are gravel style compatible, that have maybe a front fork, a little bit beefier tires, a big battery, making the bike a little bit heavier and less efficient. But some riders need a lightweight e-bike to take it upstairs or load it on and off a vehicle bike rack easily. And if you're one of those types of riders, I might just have the solution here for you today. This here is the Velotric T1 ST. When you're shopping for a value-oriented e-bike, it's tough to find everything that you're looking for, including high-quality components, good specifications, and great style that you'd be proud to be seen on. I've reviewed some of the other Velotric e-bikes and they exist at this perfect intersection, and the one in front of me is no different. For example, look up here at the very front of the bike. The cable management is some of the best I've ever seen, if not the best. And if you've watched some of my reviews before, you know I'm really picky about that, but they come right into the frame immediately. Many other e-bike brands have cheap either zip ties or sleeves or some kind of spiral plastic piece that doesn't look as good. And this is super clean. They just add these little tabs to keep those cables nice and tidy before it goes right into the frame. One of my favorite things about the Velotric bikes is they always add some color to them, and this color here is called lava, but you'll also notice that they have this bright turquoise accent piece scattered around the bike. I just think that it makes it so fun, and I would definitely be proud to ride this bike in this color. Keep in mind they also sell some more muted colors for people who aren't interested in making a statement. Another way that Velotric keeps this bike looking clean is by not including a screen. Now keep in mind, you don't need the screen to turn it on, you just press the button right here that's on the frame. And then you can use these buttons on the handlebar in order to move through the different pedal assist levels. But if you do want to use a screen, then Velotric actually sends you a sticky mount to put on the back of your phone. It really easily mounts right here on the handlebars. Let's talk more in depth about the specifications.
The T1 ST is a Class 1 e-bike, meaning it can travel up to 20 miles per hour on pedal assist only. It does not have a throttle. If you want a higher top speed, Velotric provides instructions on their website to unlock the bike for speeds up to 25 miles per hour. The T1 ST features a new Velotric-developed motor rated for 350 watts continuous and 600 watts peak, with up to 45 Nm of torque. The motor is paired with a 36-volt, 9.8 amp-hour LG or Samsung battery, which is equivalent to a modest 352.8 watt-hours. The battery is integrated into the aluminum frame and is UL certified. Velotric says this combination can deliver a maximum range of 52 miles. The bike comes with a 2-amp charger that should give you a full charge between 4 to 6 hours. This ST version comes in 2 frame sizes, small or medium, which will accommodate riders between 5'1" and 6 foot with a maximum payload capacity of 330 pounds. Not bad for a bike that weighs under 40 pounds. Although this bike is lightweight, it looks to have oversized stopping power with these hydraulic brakes with 160mm rotors. The rapid fire shifter and 8-speed Altus derailleur are made by Shimano. This is my favorite configuration in Shimano's mid-range. The rigid front fork is aluminum. The tires are 700 by 40C puncture-resistant tires. This bike does not include fenders or a rear rack, but they are now available for purchase at the Velotric website. The Thunder ST comes with support for Apple Find My, which means you can pair your bike with the Find My app on your Apple device to help locate your bike if it's stolen or lost. Lastly, Velotric has a 2-year warranty which matches other leaders in the space like Aventon. They've also got a surprisingly robust dealer and service network in the US. You can check the map on their website to see the nearest service location. Their partnership with Velotooler makes at-home assembly or service possible.
Well, those specs look promising, and I'm here in a city, so I think it's time to see how this really performs. All right, I have an 8-speed Shimano gear set, so really helpful when I'm climbing hills like this. And actually, this bike is doable
even pedaling in this case when I have no assist on. Let's bump it up to the first pedal assist mode though. You'll notice that where I press the power button, there's a little light around it, and that changes colors depending on what pedal assist mode you go into. And I'm right now in the eco mode, which is the first mode. It's very minor, but this bike has a torque sensor, and I am a big fan of a torque sensor because it just makes it feel like a more natural riding feel in comparison to most cadence sensors on the market, which maybe aren't calibrated with enough magnets or with the software to give you a responsive feel. But so far I'm really enjoying this torque sensor. Coming downhill, I have Tektro hydraulic brakes, and actually I just do a brake test right here after we get to the bottom up at the stop sign so we can see how that really feels. Stop hard. Great stopping power on the Tektros. I feel actually really confident in that braking power because the tires on this bike, they're a little bit wider. They're not like a true road bike, really skinny tire, but they're wide enough to provide enough traction to feel comfortable stopping at those higher speeds. Now I'm on a little gravel path, and as you can see, this can handle the gravel just fine. It has enough grooves in it to keep it stable as well. I'm pedaling here in this first mode, and it's still feeling really nice with just the eco mode. I feel like a lot of people would feel comfortable just riding on that first pedal assist. I'm gonna bump it up here into the next mode though, to blue mode, which is the touring mode. Yep, very smooth transition of power. You can tell it's a little bit more. I like the balance between the different modes. It's feeling really nice. Oh, it really does the trick for me is these grips. So you'll notice that they have this paddle shape. They're a rubberized material. They have a nice set of texture on the back side of the grip, but also right here on the paddle and underneath. What that does is really create more grip on my handles, even when I am having a sweaty palm from riding in hot weather like it is today. So I really enjoy that. Another thing I want to just note real quick is that the buttons that you see here, they're also a rubberized material. They're kind of slick though. They almost feel silky. And I do appreciate a rubberized feel when you're riding a bike, because when you're moving and you have the ground beneath you, sometimes you can create some turbulence, which then allows your finger to slip a little bit more and a little bit more challenging to press those buttons securely. Then I have a bell here. This is a great feeling bike. Now the saddle is actually pretty comfortable for being a road bike as well. I'm really happy with how wide it is. It's just a slick material, so you want to be thoughtful as far as like the material of pants you're wearing when you're riding on a bike like this. But so far I like the pitch of the position of it. It's a little bit wider. It is comfortable. It's not a super cushy seat, but that's to be expected with a road bike like this. All right, let's bump up to more pedal assist modes. I'm gonna go into normal mode, which is orange. I will say one thing I'm noticing, it's hard to see what mode you're in when you're in a sunny condition like this. And one thing to know is I'm going over these big bumps. This does not have a suspension at all, not even a front fork. And if you're the type of person that finds the suspension important, this might not be the right bike for you. So far I think it's handling the bumps pretty fine. And this is really intended to be a pavement bike. So generally speaking, I'm happy with this form factor and what it's providing. Tires do feel like they're absorbing a little bit, so it's not too bad. Maybe let's head down to the city, and that way I can talk about the higher pedal assist modes and see if I can unlock the top speed, because this originally ships at 20 miles per hour,
for the top speed, and you can unlock it to 25. So let's go into the city. And then you probably saw these lights below here. That is my battery indicator. This battery is integrated into the frame, and a lot of times I don't like that, but I think it's actually acceptable with a bike like this because it's so lightweight, and 36 pounds is enough for someone to just carry this bike up into their apartment. All right, let's see how we can go. And this is actually doing a pretty good job, as I mentioned. I unlocked it. Let me shift up a little bit. See if I get access to these higher levels from shifting. All right, I'm on the 8th gear. This feels great. I feel like I'm moving pretty quickly. Duck down. It is some work for me, but it does get up to speed really nicely.
And I think this riding position is good because these handlebars do come up a little bit more. They're in a little bit more of like a butterfly shape than a typical road bike that are straight across a lot of times. So I think that's also contributing to a better riding position. All right, it's time to head back and I'll share my thoughts and we'll wrap it up. All right, I've spent quite a bit of time riding around on the Thunder 1 ST, so let's talk about some of the things I'd like to see improved, and then we'll talk about the things that I think Velotric really nailed. The first thing is not necessarily the bike compatibility, but it has to deal with the app. They already have an app built for the Thunder 1, and I wish that I could have access to like a dummied down version of that app. I'd like to be able to see how fast I'm going and how far I've traveled all through the Velotric app instead of having to use a third-party app. It doesn't need to be connected to the bike necessarily, I just want that basic information all in one app. I also have a Discover 1, and that bike is around the same price point as the Thunder 1 ST. It includes fenders and a rear integrated light. This one does not, so not only no fenders, but that light in the back, I have to make sure that I put a new battery in when it runs out, or in the case of some other bikes, you have to recharge that battery. The Thunder 1 ST comes in 2 different frame sizes, a small and a medium, and the medium that I have here is just barely comfortable enough for me. I'm 5'11", and the limit here is 6 foot, so I wish they offered a frame size that was for taller riders. I know that you can get the Thunder 1, and it accommodates riders up to 6'5", but they're very different bikes, and I think that if this bike came in a larger frame, it would work for a lot of different riders. One last opportunity for improvement I see, and this is just a personal opinion, is I wish Velotric would offer a carbon belt option. It's already a pretty quiet bike, but it would make it even more quiet with a belt drive, and it would also be cleaner not only physically, but in the design, and no maintenance. All right, now let's talk about the things that I really like about this bike. First off is the design. Velotric does a really great job with all of their bikes, not only making a very unique frame design, but also providing a really fun pop of color. I truly love the way this bike looks, and it definitely makes me feel proud riding on it. When it comes to power, Velotric has done a great job of developing their own motor, making it very quiet and the perfect amount of performance, but I'd highly recommend that you unlock the bike so you can get up to 25 miles per hour, because with a bike like this, you're definitely going to want to keep up with traffic. If you want to learn how to unlock it, then go to their website and you can find the instructions there. Combining this power with a torque sensor really makes this a smooth ride. I feel like it's the adequate amount of power that I'm asking for, especially, for example, when I went uphill. I can move it up into those pedal assist modes and push down on that pedal, and it's giving me exactly what I'm asking for. Another thing that I really like about this bike is that it has Apple Find My, which kind of works like having an AirTag on board. Practical for a bike like this, which is gonna be in the city, and I can find my bike at any time if I have an Apple. Now, I am not an Apple girl, I'm an Android girl, so I really wish that they could offer this feature with those Android devices. I've reviewed a lot of other electric road bikes like this, and they're designed to be lightweight and efficient, but I will say that this is probably the most comfortable out of all that I've reviewed. So I love the comfort factor. I talked about the design and mostly the frame and the colors, but this is the best cable management I have ever seen on an e-bike. It is absolutely spectacular. The last thing is the price. I think at $14.99, which is its original list price, I've actually seen it on sale at about $12.99. I think that is a great value for what's offered here. Overall, this is a great bike for the price, and if you're interested in purchasing a bike like this, then please see the link in the description below. Velotric might help support the Miss GoElectric channel if they find we're helping their customers find the right bike for them. This bike also has a discount code. Thank you guys so much for watching this latest review, and until next time, drive, fly, ride. Go Electric.